All right, today we're putting on our detective hats. We're going to try and solve a mystery that's been bugging a lot of people in the Apertum community. Let's call it the case of the phantom burn. We're seeing these absolutely massive token burns on chain, right? But the retail trading volume, it just doesn't seem to match up. So where's all this fire coming from? Let's find out.
Okay, let's get right into the heart of this thing. The whole mystery really boils down to one simple but kind of baffling question.
And there it is. This is the core puzzle we're trying to solve. You know, you go look at the burn address and you see these huge amounts of APTM just vanishing, getting destroyed forever. And that should mean there's a ton of activity, a lot of selling going on. But then you look at the day-to-day trading on the dexes and it just feels quiet. It's a classic case of the evidence not adding up, a real head-scratcher for any on-chain detective.
So let's break down this paradox. On one side, we have what we can see, these enormous, undeniable on-chain burns. Logically, you'd expect this to be fueled by super high retail trading volume, but the reality we're seeing seems to be pretty low visible transactions from you, me, and other regular users. So that leaves us with the puzzle, right? Where is all this fire coming from if there's no visible fuel? How can so much be burning with so little smoke? So, what's the answer? You know what? Let's just get right to it. Here it is, straight up. The burn isn't coming from thousands of individual people hitting the sell button. Nope, it's coming from something bigger, something happening automatically, behind the scenes, at the protocol level. And now, we're going to prove it. So, it's time to pull back the curtain and unmask the real culprits behind these phantom burns. There are a few key mechanisms at work here, and pretty much none of them involve a typical trader just making a sale. First up on our list of suspects, we have what's called batched buybacks. Okay, so imagine the protocol has a giant digital piggy bank. All day long, it's collecting tiny bits of money from all over the place. Little bits of revenue, transaction fees, gas fees. But instead of burning each little coin as it comes in, it just saves them all up. Then, maybe once a day or once a week, boom. It takes that huge pile of cash, goes to the market, does one massive swap to buy up a bunch of APTM, and burns it all in one go. And this creates a huge burn spike on chain that has absolutely nothing to do with sales happening at that exact moment. Next up, think about aggregated microsources. We're talking about dozens of these tiny, almost invisible streams of value. A little sliver from gas fees over here, a tiny slice of DEX fees over there, some validator payments. Individually, each one is just a drop in the bucket. But here's the clever part. The protocol pools all of these little drops together into one special collector wallet. And once that pool gets big enough, it triggers a single large swap and burn transaction. It's literally a case of many tiny streams coming together to form one powerful river. And then there's the big one, treasury operations. The Apertum Foundation itself holds a treasury with its own assets, things like stablecoins. As a core part of its tokenomics, the foundation can from time to time decide to convert some of those assets into APTM for the sole purpose of burning them. This is an action that is 100% independent of what retail traders are doing on the DEX, and it shows up on-chain as a single massive burn event that can seem to come out of nowhere. Okay, so let's line up our suspects and rank them by probability. At the very top of our list, with a high probability, are those scheduled swaps from the Treasury or DAO. Right behind that, with a medium-high probability, is that batched aggregation of all those tiny fee streams we talked about. The others are less likely, but the key takeaway here is pretty clear. The main culprits are all these automated, protocol-level actions, not retail trading volume. Now, here's what I think is the coolest part of all of this. You absolutely do not have to take my word for any of it. This is crypto, right? The whole ethos has always been about verifying things for yourself. So let's get you geared up with your own on-chain toolkit, because you can become the detective and see all the proof with your own two eyes. That is the absolute beauty of a public blockchain. All the evidence, every clue, it's right there, just sitting on the chain, waiting for someone curious enough to go look. Don't trust, verify isn't just a cool catchphrase, it's a fundamental principle. And right now, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do it. Here's your 5-step playbook to becoming an on-chain detective. Step 1, go to Apertum's burn tracker. Find a big burn transaction and copy its transaction hash. Easy. Step 2, pop that hash into the block explorer and trace it backwards. See what transaction came right before it. Was it a big swap from a DEX router? Well, there's your first big clue. Step 3, look for those collector addresses. You'll spot them because they get tons of tiny deposits coming in and then one giant withdrawal or swap going out. Step 4, you can even check the DEX logs directly. Look for large stablecoin to APTM swaps that happen just minutes before a big burn.
And finally, step 5. If you know any of the foundation's public wallet addresses, go check their activity. It's all there, it's all public.
Okay, time for a quick debrief. To be totally transparent here, we need to separate what we can actually prove with hard on-chain evidence from what, well, simply isn't public information just yet. So here's the deal. We know for sure that the protocol uses this automated buy and burn logic. We can see it. We know for sure that it pulls from all those little fees and revenue streams. And we know for sure that these big burns can be the result of batched swaps. But what we don't know are the secret ingredients, right? We don't have the exact schedule of the burns. We don't know the internal treasury rules for when they trigger a swap. And we don't have a perfect map of every single fee collector contract address. That's the kind of stuff that for now just remains unpublished.
So, after laying out all the evidence, after looking at all the clues, what's the final verdict in the case of the phantom burn?
It really just boils down to two simple things. Number one, the mystery isn't really a mystery at all. The weird mismatch between high burn and low volume is perfectly explained by these big, batched, protocol-driven operations. And number two, and this is the most important part, you now have the toolkit to go and prove this for yourself. You can actually trace the transactions and see these mechanics playing out in real time.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. The tools are in your hands, the data's on the chain, and it's open for absolutely everyone to see. So now that you know how to look, what will you discover? Thanks for joining this investigation.